Oh man, I need to get high, I need to get high. That's the sort of stuff I would think to myself. See, from about 17 to 19, I was a drug addict. And of course, when you're thinking like that and you couple that with a negative feeling, maybe it's loneliness, depression, strong anxiety, maybe it's just a simple craving for a drug, but usually, of course, we all know it's some sort of negative feeling. When you couple those together, of course you're going to do drugs. Of course it's going to end up into daily use like it did for me. But see, there's a secret most people on earth don't know about life. We're not these thoughts and feelings. Of course, what are urges at the end of the day? They're thoughts and feelings coupled together, pointing us to do some sort of horrible habit, whether it's drugs, wanking, food, any of it. But most people, we're convinced ourselves that with this voice in our head, that these feelings, they have to be listened to, they have to be acted upon. But no, it's a lie. It's not the real you. I mean, think about this for a second. We talk about my thoughts. These are my thoughts, these are your thoughts, this is my body, my feeling. A lot of people will talk about their depression, they'll call it my depression, my anxiety. Well, where is this me? The owner of all this, the my, where is it? It couldn't be in your head, because you just said they're your thoughts. They're not you, they're your thoughts. They're not your feelings, they're your feelings. See, we've just created this identity. This is the true meaning of ego. Most people think ego is this big macho, yeah, I'm obsessed with myself. No, ego is your identity. Everyone's got one. It's impossible not to. People with a big ego, they just have a big attachment to that identity. But when you have a massive, strong identity, attachment to this identity, it causes you to suffer, and it'll take you places you don't want to go. See, because I was convinced that this was just me. This is the sort of things I thought about. I mean, during that time, I used to have dark thoughts, violent thoughts. So I was convinced I was a horrible person. But I seen that I didn't have to be that character. I didn't have to be that druggie, that junkie, just wanting to hurt people, steal from people. I didn't have to be that. You don't have to be that. You don't have to buy into that character. And I know this won't probably make sense to you, but it doesn't have to right now, because it didn't for me. If you had told me this years ago, of course it wouldn't make sense, because we're stuck in this level of thoughts and feelings when we're simply just awareness. We're just experiencing all of it, the internal and the external. The best way, in my opinion, to see this is meditation. Now, there's a lot of misconceptions about meditation. You know, people think about monks and they'll be bald, inner peace, and they'll do all that silly stuff. But I don't even meditate sitting up cross-legged. I lie down on the floor, sometimes on my bed if it's nighttime. Meditation really is just about focusing on one particular thing. When we do this, we bring ourselves into the present moment. We let go of this identity, this chatter, this layer that we've created. But see, the thing is, people think that when they do that, that means they'll just sit down, they'll just focus on their breath, and it'll be so clear, it'll be so perfect. But no, you will get distracted. That's the point. Most people do try and they're like, no, I can't meditate. You wouldn't go to the gym, right, and hit failure and think, oh, I can't go to the gym. Hitting failure is a good thing. It's part of the process. We need to hit failure to grow. We need to get close to failure to grow. Just like in meditation, we need to get distracted. And when we get distracted, as soon as we realize we've become distracted, we don't tell ourselves off. We don't think, fuck, I shouldn't be doing that. No, it's part of the process. We just come back to the breath and over again for 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes, wherever. That's the thing, it only can take like 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and it will change your life. This is how I start off. I start off doing 10 minutes. Now I do 20 to 30 minutes, sometimes 40. I remember it so clearly like it was yesterday. See, at that point, I was at my worst. I was so depressed. I hated every single second of life. I was getting high in some form every single day, and I was doing butane, which is the stuff in lighters, inhaling that to get high. So my mind was scrambled, my mind was so messed up at this point, and I just needed some relief. You know, I was talking gibberish in my own head, just gibberish, just blah 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 blah. Just I can't even repeat it because it was just nonsense. I'd say random words, just like a random string of words that all rhymed, you know, like hair, chair, stare, like just out of nowhere. And there was so much tension on my mind. I felt like the world was just crushing me. I kept begging for God to give me something. I kept praying, universe, help me, help me. and it helped me. See, I seen the ad for Headspace, which is a meditation app, and I do recommend using an app like Headspace or Medito when you're starting off. It explains everything. I'll link both in the description. But as I was saying, I seen the ad for Headspace. You know, I'd seen it a few times, but I never really noticed it. I can't even remember exactly what made me, but I said, fuck it, I'm going to try it. So I tried it. Sat down for 10 minutes. And when I opened my eyes, all that tension, all that pain was gone. I seen the light. No, I didn't exactly see right through my thoughts and feelings, but it was just pure peace, pure awareness. All of it was gone. I seen that I didn't have to suffer 24/7. Now, of course, it didn't fix it forever. I needed to keep coming back. But after a few months of this, my life has changed forever. Now, it might not happen to you exactly the way it happened to me the first time, and it's life-changing. As I said, my mind was so fucked up, so the difference was crazy. But like anything, it takes time. You just need to do it every single day, just 5 minutes. If that's all you have time for, 5 minutes, I'd recommend doing the exact same time. Most likely night, because we all know about lying down at night when our thoughts just going, just da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Meditation will help soothe that so much. So 5-10 minutes every single night, slowly but surely and naturally you'll just increase it. If you're really struggling with addiction, honestly, this will help so much. It doesn't matter what kind of addiction. I mean, this helps in every single area of your life. To me, it's like the gym for the mind. And at the end of the day, addiction is not that hard to get rid of. Yes, it takes time, but at the end of the day, it's just an imbalance. It's just a symptom of living off. You need to just slowly but surely fix your habits. Do good habits like exercise, meditation, reading. Couple that with time to understand your emotion, time to let yourself unwind. See, too often we're stuck constantly on our phone, constantly stimulating ourselves. We never just sit and let our emotions just go through us. See, what are emotions? Energy in motion, but we block them, and that's why it gets tight and sore and painful, and we feel like the world is just squeezing down on us. Remember, you're better than that bag, you're better than that ball.